So you guys were absolute beasts, and you got 3,000 likes on my biggest breakout hitters video, which means today you're getting the biggest breakout pitchers of the 2021 MLB season. Now again, let me go over this. We're looking for guys who are breaking out, showing that they are good, showing they are stars, showing they're maybe one of the best players in the league. We're not looking for rookies. Rookies can't break out. That's just called a really good rookie season. I need to see guys who have broke out and maybe had their opinion changed on what kind of player they are. So we got 10 players again, 10 really good pitchers. No, I did not include Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani was a good pitcher before, still sick now. I included him in the hitter video. Spoiler, not going to show up in this pitcher one, but honorable mention for sure. Of course, if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like on it. That really does help support the channel. 3,000 likes again is what we're aiming for. Subscribe if you're new and you enjoy the content. If you like what you're seeing here, click that sub button, join the team so you don't miss out. Get in the comment section down below. Let me know some of your breakout pitchers because there's a lot I couldn't include on this list. I'd love to know who you think I missed. And make sure you drop me a follow on all my social media. GiraffeNeckMarc, link is in the description. And I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, DraftKings. DraftKings is the leader in daily fantasy sports. And right now they're putting you at the center of the action with a shot at millions of dollars in prizes every single week of the football regular season. We all know that the first week of football is about to start, and that means daily fantasy contests for football are back. Each player has an assigned salary, and your entire team's salary can't go over $50,000. So it allows you to make some interesting lineups. Some guys that I like in my lineups, Kyle Pitts. Dude was a stud in college. I expect him to be great in Atlanta. Javonte Williams is a cheap running back you want to keep an eye out for in Denver. And we got to show some love to my boy Debo. Rack up fantasy points for touchdowns, yards, field goals, and much more. And if you want to see full rules and scoring, check the link in the description down below. Because I've partnered up with DraftKings, I have a really great offer to share with you guys. Yes, that's right. DraftKings is giving you a great opportunity here. When you sign up, use the promo code GiraffeNeckMarc and get a shot at millions of dollars in prizes with your first deposit. Thank you to DraftKings for sponsoring today's video. So for the first breakout pitcher, I mean, probably the biggest breakout pitcher of the season, it's going to be Robbie Ray of the Toronto Blue Jays. This team, by the way, just filled with breakout players. But Robbie Ray is having a phenomenal year. So good, he is in the Cy Young candidate talks in the American League. And while he finished in the top 10 in the Cy Young voting in 2017 and was an all-star, that was really the only time we've ever seen him show this kind of promise. And now Robbie Ray's new mechanics and new way of pitching, I mean, he's just a significantly better pitcher than he's ever been before. This is a breakout for Robbie Ray. He's here to stay. Prior to this season, Robbie Ray had a career ERA of 4.26, a whip at 1.384, and he was a big strikeout guy, but the control had never been there. This year, he's having career bests in Toronto. 2.6 ERA in 166 innings pitched, both of those best in the American League, and ERA plus at 171, striking out 212 of the 657 batters he's faced, about a 33% K rate, 11.5 K per nine, 6.7 hits per nine, best in the American League. He's got his walks per nine all the way down to 2.2, which is by far a career low, and he's even limiting the home runs better than he has at times in the past. Robbie Ray has been fantastic. He is a Cy Young candidate, and he is definitely a breakout player this season. All right, let's flip the script here, and let's go to the bullpen. Coming out of the bullpen, one of the biggest breakout players this season has been Kendall Graveman, who's now on the Houston Astros, formerly on the Seattle Mariners. While his time with the Astros hasn't been as smooth as it was in Seattle, he's still having easily the best season of his career, transitioning into that reliever role flawlessly. Prior to this season, Kendall Graveman had a career ERA of 4.44, a whip at 1.371. He had struggled with health and injuries and just consistency in his pitching as a starter. He became a reliever in 2020, and in 2021, he really took on that role full time, and he's been sick. Between the Astros and Mariners, in 44 appearances, he has a 1.72 ERA in 47 innings pitched, a whip under 1 at 0.83, striking out almost 10 batters per 9 innings, giving up 5 hits per 9, 0.6 home runs, and 2.5 walks. The strikeout rate, the walk rate, everything is at a career best this year for Kendall Graveman, and it looks like he's going to be a really solid reliever for many years to come. Let's move a little further west now, the Bay Area. San Francisco Giants starting pitcher Kevin Gausman. Gausman was one of my lowest ranked aces coming into this season, but he has proved me wrong and many others. His stuff is legit, and that was coming off of a strong 2020. He really cemented himself as a top pitcher in the game in 2021. Gausman, just like a lot of these other pitchers we're going to mention, a career ERA in the low to mid fours at 4.26 and a 1.329 whip. Moved to San Francisco and things have turned around. This year in 28 starts, a 2.58 ERA in 164 innings pitched, a FIP at 2.96, whip at 1 flat, striking out over 10.5 batters per 9 innings, 6.4 hits, 0.8 home runs, and 2.6 walks. His stuff has been filthy. He's been commanding that fastball better. The splitter is just one of the most devastating splitters in the league. Gausman has figured something out in the Bay Area, and he's turned himself into one of the better pitchers in baseball. And then let's talk about Kevin Gausman's teammate, Logan Webb, who's a guy you probably haven't heard much of prior to this year because he had just been super unspectacular. In the 2 seasons prior to 2021, he'd throw 94 innings, 5.36 ERA, a whip at 1.5. That's just bad. But this year, Logan Webb has really turned it around. He's bumping up the K rate, striking out around 25% of the batters he faces, a little bit higher. 2.56 ERA in 21 games, 20 starts, 112 innings pitched, 1.086 whip, 7. 1.4 hits per 9, 0.6 home runs per 9, and 2.4 walks per 9 with a 9.7 K per 9. Logan Webb is a legitimately good pitcher. This is a guy that the Giants are going to be able to have in the middle of their rotation and give them seriously good innings. I'm not going to put him in the same conversation as some of the best pitchers in baseball, but clearly Logan Webb has figured something out in San Francisco that has allowed him for not only to be effective, but a really, really good pitcher for the Giants. And he's only 24 years old. This guy could sculpt into something really scary in the future. For my next breakout pitcher, let's go to Milwaukee and talk about Corbin Burnes. Again, one of two Milwaukee Brewers pitchers that's going to be mentioned here. Corbin Burnes, while he had a fantastic 2020 and finished 6th in the Cy Young voting, I think it's safe to say that 2021 is his true breakout season. You could have saw it last year and you could have known, but I feel like now Corbin Burnes has cemented himself as a top 10 pitcher in Major League Baseball without a doubt, and maybe even in the top 5 conversation among some people. He might even be the favorite to win the National League Cy Young this year after a poor start by Walker Buehler. In 24 starts this year, he had a 2.38 ERA and 144 innings pitched, a 1.58 FIP, which is the best in Major League Baseball, a whip under 1 at .958, striking out 12.3 batters per 9, 6.9 hits per 9, nice, 0.3 home runs per 9, best in Major League Baseball, and a National League best 1.8 walks per 9. He's only walked 28 batters of the 569 he's faced, while striking out 196. Corbin Burnes has some of the nastiest stuff in the league. I made a video about him earlier in the year. This dude, while he was good in 2020, is having his breakout season in 2021. And then let's talk about his teammate too. We're bunching up the teammates here. Freddy Peralta, also of the Milwaukee Brewers. Whoa, Freddy Peralta. We'd always known the talent was through the roof with this kid. But in his 25-year-old season in Milwaukee, Freddy Peralta has shattered those expectations, making his first ever All-Star team and just being one of the most dominant pitchers in baseball this year. Prior to 2021, Freddy Peralta had a career ERA of 4.67 and a whip at 1.282. Always had the strikeout stuff, but this year he was able to get that same strikeout production while giving up almost no hits. In 24 appearances, 23 starts, he's got a 9-4 record with a 2.7 ERA and 123 innings pitched, a FIP at 3.08, and a whip at .965. He struck out 168 batters of the 494 he's faced, walking 53, but only giving up 66 hits. That's good for a 4.8 hit per 9, 0.8 home run per 9, 3.9 walk per 9, and 12.3 K per 9. Freddy Peralta has been fantastic this year, huge part of the Brewers' success, and he's part of that insane three-headed monster in Milwaukee that you don't want to run into in the playoffs. Another reliever making an appearance on this list, and this one, it pains me a little bit. He's a former New York Met pitching out in Seattle now. It's Paul Sewald of the Mariners. Well, where did this Paul Sewald come from? Paul Sewald has been filthy. He's been maybe one of the best relievers in baseball this year. With the Mets, he had kind of been an up-and-down journeyman reliever, I guess you could say. A lot of cleanup innings, a lot of getting called up and sent down, and it's because he had a 5.5 ERA and a whip at 1.364. It wasn't that good, but in Seattle, something's clicked, and in 48 appearances this year, he has a 2.39 ERA, 49 innings pitched, a FIP at 1.8, a whip at .980. He has struck out 82 of the 198 batters he's faced. That's almost a 50% K rate, 15.1 K per 9, 2.8 walks per 9, 6.1 hits per 9, and 0.7 home runs per 9. Paul Sewald's getting swing and misses, he's getting soft contact, and he has been disgusting in Seattle. Made it easy to trade a guy like Kendall Graveman. Paul Sewald, yeah, big breakout season. And then I swear this isn't just a teammate video, but the Mariners have another breakout pitcher this year, and that's Chris Flexen. Now, do I think Chris Flexen's production is going to stick with as well as he's pitched this year? I'm not sure. His peripherals aren't great. They're not bad, but they're not great, like his baseball savant numbers, but you can't ignore how well he has pitched this year. Prior to 2021, he spent some time in Korea, and before that again, with the Mets organization. This is painful to talk about, but he was bad with the Mets. You can't blame him. 17 to 19, he had an 8 ERA and a whip at 2.13. I mean, that is atrocious. He went to Korea, got in better shape, fixed himself, and it's shown in his play this year. 26 starts, 3.56 ERA in 151 innings pitched, a whip at 1.246, FIP at 3.80. Still doesn't strike out a lot of batters. He is not a high strikeout guy, but he's limiting the walks. The walks per 9 are down to 1.9 when he was previously hovering around the 7 or 8s per 9, giving up less home runs and giving up 9.3 hits per 9. He's a pitch to contact guy. He's not going to blow you away with his stuff, but Chris Flexen has been super effective in how he's pitched this year, and I gotta give a shout out to him. He went to Korea, changed himself, and he's having a nice little breakout season in 2021. For the second to last pitcher of the breakout video, let's go to Philadelphia and talk about Zach Wheeler, who's really broke out as one of the best pitchers in baseball. Now, again, you're going to talk about 2020, 11 starts, 2.92 ERA, finished 12th in the Cy Young voting. But this year, he is a Cy Young candidate. He is a top 5 Cy Young vote getter for sure. And while we all knew that Zach Wheeler had this stuff, it's the first time in his career that you really go, oh boy, this guy's going to be good. I called him Garrett Cole light when the Phillies signed him. I thought it was a great move, and boy, was I right. Because this year, he has been one of the most valuable pitchers in baseball, especially for the Phillies who need pitching help. 28 starts, 2.91 ERA, 3 complete games, 2 of those for shutouts. He's pitched a Major League best 188.2 innings this season, struck out the most batters in baseball at 217, while also facing the most, but still good enough for a K per 9 of 10.4, hits per 9 of 7.3, walks per 9 of 1.9, and home runs per 9, 0.7 in Philly. Bandbox. His whip's at 1.018, a FIP at 2.61, and ERA plus plus at 139. Any way you look at it, Zach Wheeler is having the best season of his career. He's breaking out and putting himself into that category as one of the best pitchers in baseball. Oh, I wish the Mets signed him. This really is just a painful what the Mets should have done video. My God. And then for the last and final pitcher in today's video, I think this is the biggest breakout pitcher of the 2021 season, Carlos Rodon of the Chicago White Sox. Now, Rodon always had the hype. He was the number 3 overall pick back in the 2014 draft out of NC State, and he came up quickly with the White Sox. But between injuries and inconsistent pitching, Rodon struggled early on, a 4.14 ERA and a whip at 1.379. Again, injuries, inconsistency with pitching, you knew he had the stuff, he just hadn't shown it. Well, this year in 2018, he was fully healthy, and boy oh boy has Rodon been just unbelievable. 21 starts, 119.2 innings pitched, 2.41 ERA, a whip under 1 at 0.978, a FIP at 2.66, ERA plus at 177. I mean, this guy is just simply one of the more dominant pitchers in Major League Baseball this year, especially from the left-handed side. 12.6 K per 9, 2.4 walks per 9, 6.4 hits per 9, and 0.9 home runs per 9, all career bests. He made the All-Star team, and he's a free agent at the end of the season. Carlos Rodon is gonna get paid. This dude is gonna make some serious money, and it's because this production is gonna be able to stick as long as he's healthy, which he looks like he is. Carlos Rodon has turned into a seriously good left-handed pitcher in the game, one of the best. Massive breakout season. So those are my 10 biggest breakout pitchers for the 2021 MLB season. I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Who did I leave off? Who did I snub? Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it, as well as subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the content. Follow me on all my social media, GiraffeNeckMarc, links in the description. That's where I'm wrapping it up. You guys know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload. Click through those if you have not yet seen them. Back in the old setup for a quick video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for another banger. Peace out. Bye.